Welcome to Convicted Hearts. I'm Jen with Convicted Hearts, and if you have a convicted heart, you are in the right place. Today, I'm here with Monet, and we are going to speak about some very important topics that are not touched on enough. And I'm happy to be here with you, Monet. I know I saw a comment you had in a group that we both belong to, and I felt like you have a very important message that you can share and we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so my husband is incarcerated right now. He was in Cook County
Okay.
jail in Chicago, Illinois. Um, he's now in NRC, with which is the a holding facility in Stateville until he gets shipped off to prison. Um, it's so much that goes on behind those cell walls that the world really does not know. For instance, I'll just give you one quick example of how the police officers or the COs treat. They call them inmates. I call them loved ones.
Thank you.
They disrespect them. They taunt them. They know that they're at their weakest.
Mm-hmm.
This is the lowest you can be incarcerated without family. Um, you barely can contact family. You have no one. The COs disrespect them. They call them out their name. Um, they're very prejudiced towards different races, depending on what race that CO is. I personally have been on the phone with my husband and heard these things. You wouldn't believe it if you've never been through it or have been on the phone with a loved one. I know people think that inmates, as they call it, are there for a reason, but it doesn't matter. They're still human. They still have a heart. It's beating. They still have people out here that love them, truly. Um, it's just sad that people overlook that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, I've witnessed firsthand how they treat them, how they talk to them, um, and some of our loved ones go there because they not they go there for that reason, but they want to change. But how can you change when you're in a dirty cell? You have rats. The food is terrible. Um, God forbid you don't eat pork because
Oh,
that might just be all that you can eat.
right.
It's um,
Mm-hmm.
the food is horrible. Sometimes the water is contaminated. They can't drink it. There is none. I don't know how that happens. They can barely wash their clothes. It's just not a safety. It's not safe health wise, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's draining
Right.
for us, but for them especially because they're the ones that actually have to go through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree with you. I had a little past experience. I mean, my brother's still incarcerated, but his first term, there was some pretty severe, abuse going on. Uh, Unfortunately, and I'm sure you know what I'm saying, you, as a family member of that loved one, you have to, it's almost like having our hands tied. You want to say something, but you don't want to bring any undue attention to
Exactly.
them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I've actually did that. They have this thing where you are supposed to, if you have a problem, contact their counselor.
Mhm.
And you're supposed to contact this office. It's called OPR. It's like an office where you fill out a grievance form. That our loved ones can do that too. They
Okay.
fill out a grievance form. They let either the counselor or whichever department handles those type of situations. However, when I contacted his supposedly counselor, I
Mm-hmm.
went from this counselor to this phone number to that phone number. I was given the runaround. It was it was terrible. I just wanted to let them know that this what was going on, and if maybe you can move the CO, maybe you can move him. I know I'm just one person, I
Right.
know people have been in jail for years and loved ones probably have done the same thing
Mhm.
I've done, but I didn't know what else to do. It
Yeah.
seems they don't have a voice in there. They can't express themselves or write these grievance or write a letter or write a note or whatever, send a bird
Right.
to say something. They don't care. They don't listen to them. So I felt like, hey, I'm the wife. Let me see if I can do something. But it went on deaf ears. I mean, he wasn't getting his mail. He wasn't getting his commissary. Um, that's what they look for.
Hmm.
For is the mail. They
Hmm.
look for their loved ones to write them. That's all they have if they can't get on the phone. I mean, even if they do, they look for that.
Hmm.
Um, his mail had been held up for weeks. He couldn't get on the phone with me, video calls,
Hmm.
because on those certain days, the CO who didn't like him wouldn't call him for the video visits. So he's going through all of this, and then to be locked up, he can't come out.
Hmm.
It's just so much that people don't understand.
Right. I agree completely. And like you said, the male, really, that's their lifeline, you know, to reality, to the outside, to just feel a small piece of being human, because
Yeah.
all of that's stripped away in there. It almost seems like, in my opinion, and you can tell me what you think, like it's a mission to make their identity disappear.
It is.
You are an inmate, you are not a human being no more.
That's exactly what it seems to be. And I understand, again, they are inmates to you guys, but the way they talk to them, these are grown men. I mean, there's some women, but I know we're talking about men now. There's women there too, but these are grown men
Mhm.
that another grown man is talking to in such disgust and disrespect. Because anybody can be put in jail,
Mhm.
false accusations. Not everybody is there because they did something, and some are there because they did
Mhm.
something, but that don't mean they have to be talked to in a certain kind of way. And I know the county is just like, they're there fighting their case to see if they're guilty or they're not, and they get
Mhm.
sick, whatever. Um, but it's like they don't want to counsel or rehabilitate our loved ones. It's like a setup.
Yeah.
This is not rehabilitation. This is a setup. That's how I feel.
Mhm.
And nobody's doing nothing about it. That's the crazy part is, I mean, I even talked to a guy, I don't know his position there at the county, but I even talked to a guy who actually investigated why his mail was late, or he wasn't getting his mail or his commissary.
Mhm.
So I told him about the grievance that I wrote, and he called me back, and he was like, "Well, you don't have to worry about that CO ever being on that division," which my husband was on division 11. I'm like, "Okay, well, I did something. I felt good
Right.
about it." I'm like, "Okay, at least he doesn't have to deal with him.
Mhm.
It's bad enough he has to deal with other inmates, and then
Yeah.
you have to deal with a CO." I
Mhm.
mean, blankly calling him out his name, calling
Yeah.
him racist racist comments, racist words, whatever. So I felt good about it. I'm like, okay, I did something. That that was a lie. I also just wrote. They have an email where you can, of course, comments,
Mhm.
questions, concerns. I just emailed Stateville because my husband was like, I can't even drink the water because it's brown, it's contaminated. I emailed someone and they said, oh, basically, we heard you. We'll get back to you. This was weeks ago. They don't care. They really don't care. And
You
I
know,
worry about it every day.
that's insane. It to me, like it's a basic human right to have drinking water. You know what I mean? I don't think that's asking too much.
He
And you're
said,
right.
he said in Division 11, they didn't even have water, so they went and bought them big, uh, I guess, little coolers.
Uh-huh.
and put the water in there because the water was so contaminated. I mean, it's really, and I'm just speaking on mild, and I mean mild things
Mhm.
that has happened to just my husband.
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's severe things that has happened to other people, and that's torture and rape and all these other things.
Mhm.
I just can only speak about my
Yeah.
husband and what he's going through, or the people around him that's going through. I
Right.
don't I don't think one situation is worse than another.
Mhm.
I just know I can only talk about what I know. You know,
Yes.
it's
Yes, and
it's
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 important.
yeah.
If we don't talk about it, we're their advocates. We have to speak about it, even
Yeah.
if it's things that make people uncomfortable. Well, guess what? This is what our loved ones are living.
Every day. And the worst part about all of that is the phone, the phone situation. The I
Okay.
can't call, well, he can't call me like now when he left Cook County on December 9th, he
Mhm.
didn't call me for a month. I didn't know if he was dead or alive. I didn't know during transportation if the van had an accident. I
Mhm.
didn't know I didn't know nothing for a whole month.
Oh my
They could have
gosh.
just gave him a call 30 seconds to say, I'm here, I made it. I won't be able to call you for a while, but at least you know I'm breathing.
Hmm.
Nothing. Even now, because it's quarantine and everybody's on lockdown, I only talk to him Tuesdays and Saturdays for like 12 minutes. And he's in his cell 23 hours a day.
Oh my goodness.
So all I just want to know, is he alive? Is he okay? That's my biggest concern. And I don't know. No, it's just, and I thank you for doing this.
Appreciate you.
But this topic has been silent for too long.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely swept under the rug. And you're right. We do need to talk about these things. I cannot imagine as a wife not hearing from your husband for a whole month. I know all the worst case scenarios were going through your mind.
Yes, and then it's like I went from talking to him 3, 4 times a day, 30 minutes at a time, to nothing, just complete silence. He called me the night before at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, well, I have Vine on my phone
Hmm.
um, that notifies me whenever he leaves one place to another or
Oh,
whatever. Or
okay.
whenever he leaves. So I knew he was leaving, but he also called me the night before, well, that
Mhm.
morning at 3, and said he was leaving. So I felt okay,
Yeah.
2, 3 weeks. I'll talk to him whatever week. No.
So what is that? I'm not familiar with that. Is that an app,
Yeah,
Vine?
so Prime Link is where it was created for, like, maybe, I'm not gonna say all domestic violence cases, but anything involving I guess domestic violence cases or
Okay.
whatever. I guess that's what it's for. It was
Mhm.
for people to be aware of the person getting out of jail who may have threatened you or
Got it.
harmed you. So hey, this person is getting out on this day, and that's what and it is an app. You
Okay.
put the person's information in, and if he goes from one county to another, it will notify you.
Okay.
And so that's how I was notified. But again, he had called to let,
Hmm.
but it's just,
Wow.
and he's
Yeah.
getting out. I thought
Hmm.
getting out of his cell, calling me. They bring the phone to him in the
So he
cell.
doesn't even leave the cell.
He didn't even leave the cell.
Wow.
So
Uh,
I think he's just like leaving to take the shower.
mhm.
Or, yeah, I guess to take a
Yeah.
shower. Yeah,
I'm sure that's about all you can do with that amount of time,
yeah,
do
that's
that and
all.
get back. My goodness. I'm so sorry you're going through this.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm sure it is.
yeah,
So has he already been sentenced? Like, is he where
yeah,
he's going? Okay. Okay.
yeah. Well, we don't know where he's. That's another thing.
Okay.
People in the Northern Reception Unit, whatever it's called. Um, yeah, Northern Reception Unit. center, whatever. And they put them there and we don't know where my whole thing is, I know they put them there for a reason. They try to find capacity for him to go to whatever prison. I get it,
Mhm.
but it's things that I can do right now as far as emails, because he'll be able to email me, he'll be able to video chat me, he'll be able to talk to me a little bit more. But there's things I can do now to have that set up so when he does get to where he's going, he doesn't have to wait a month or two for anything to be approved, or he doesn't have to wait to contact me through email. I can pay for now.
Right.
As soon as he stepped foot in there, he can talk to me. Now I have to wait to see where he's going so I can set all this up. It's just, you would think that a prison would be ran by a warden with strict rules and guidelines, but it seems he fails. And whomever runs any prison, it seems like they fail at that because they don't care. As long as it costs like $54,000 a year just to house one person, one inmate, as they call them.
Yeah.
And you would think with all that money or whatever, you would have a tight knit business.
Yeah.
They don't care about them guys or women either.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think so with that amount of money that it's said to cost. You would think it would be a lot more efficient, and running a tight ship, but I feel like it's a selective
Yeah.
thing, do you feel, I know you mentioned one particular CO, do you feel like that is a situation where he just took a certain dislike towards your husband, or do you feel he had personal issues that he displayed because of, what do you think it was?
I don't know. I think they just think they're in power. Anytime you in power, you think you're supposed to, I guess, demand respect. And
Okay.
because these inmates, our loved ones, are powerless, they feel that they can say and do what they want. And the moment that they fight back or, I guess, show confrontation, they can have more
Mhm.
days, months, and years added on.
Right.
Um, I just think he felt he was so powerful
Mhm.
that he can say and do what he wants to
Right.
my husband. And I don't know if I'm not gonna say he was racist, but to say racist things would make me seem
Yeah. Yes,
um,
absolutely.
you know. So, and to do it constantly, it's not like, okay, him and my husband had words one day because
Mhm.
things happen. People aggravated. We locked up. We all mad. They want to go home. They can't hear from their loved ones. Somebody didn't answer the phone. Somebody didn't eat today. You
Right.
have all these different personalities and attitudes every
Mhm.
day. And as a CEO, you should understand this. You're walking into a
Yeah.
gym. It's hard. It's rough. It's depressing. And then for you to bring your negative attitude
Mhm.
to a place that's already kind of negative. Like, why
Right.
do you even want to come here? Why do you want to work here?
Yeah.
Just to irritate them all day? For what? What satisfaction do you get as a CEO to antagonize these people? What satisfaction? You can go home and be okay with that. I just don't understand. It's too many other things in the world than to come to work to a place that's already depressing to
Right.
depress these guys even more. I just don't understand. So
Yeah. It's
I
like
had
kicking someone when they're down. Why would you want to do that? Yeah.
it's just amazing, amazing.
Mm.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I think that just my own personal opinion, you can let me know what you think too, is
Yeah,
that should be a position, and we're speaking about this, if anyone's questioning, we're not bashing all COs or anything. We're speaking on a specific type,
yeah,
but that should be a position that they really do a lot of, I would think, psychiatric background check and make sure that they can handle and tolerate a job like that. Because you're right, you shouldn't even walk into a job like that or facility when you have that sort of character about you. It's
exactly.
not a good mix.
And the thing is, it's like as a CEO, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but you're playing Russian roulette with your own life.
That part,
I'm
yes.
just being honest because you have inmates that don't care.
Mhm.
Um, and you'll get that one that day that really is tired of you messing with them, and
Right.
things happen and they escalate.
Yeah.
So I just don't know why would he even want to put his life in jeopardy like that with all these men here.
Mhm.
Again, power. He thinks he has the power and they're not going to do anything because they're all trying to get out of here. They
Right.
want to leave. They want to meet. I mean, they want to talk to their loved ones. They want to get on video chat. So they're not going to say nothing to me. They're not going to,
Yeah.
chat with me. They're not going to confront me. It's so it's all about power.
You're
I
right.
mean, when I was going to see him,
Mhm.
before you go in to see him, you have to show your ID. Even those COs, excuse my French, were assholes.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, why? But when I went in, the ladies that sat at the desk were so nice. It's just like every step of the way, everybody in here is upset. Why are you so upset? They are the ones doing the time.
Right.
I don't understand why you feel that you can treat them that way. Um,
Yeah. Don't you feel like that's a great point you brought up too? Even as us, as the loved ones of our loved ones who are currently incarcerated, even going through a visit to see them, I know you know what I'm saying. That emotional toll, like when you leave the visit to come home, and don't you just feel just completely empty?
yes,
And then
yes,
we think about our loved ones still there and they can't leave. It's a
yeah,
heavy feeling.
it is. And
Yeah.
then if you bring kids, the kids can hug them, but the
Yeah.
adults can't. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I bet it's so difficult too with it being your husband. When I would go to visit my brother, we haven't been able to for a long time because of, the pandemic, but it's
Mhm.
just like a quick side embrace they would allow, and that's it. Just real quick when you get there and real quick when you leave.
Yeah,
But
yeah. See, yeah, we couldn't even do that.
oh my goodness.
I sat across the table. He sat on one side. There's a CO here listening to our whole conversation. Um,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah.
difficult. That's difficult.
So I just
Oh,
want him to get here so he can get the counseling that he needs because
yes.
regardless how much I try to help him, it's again, like I mentioned, so much that one family member can do. That's it. So
Right.
we're gonna try to keep our butts up out of there because
Yeah.
I can't go for this.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's not right. It's not right. And I feel like uh, mental health is completely overlooked
It is.
in incarcerations. It is, and it's frowned upon by
It is.
others even. So I think you brought up, excuse me, some great points that
Yeah.
we all need to look at. Is there anything that you can think of that I could do or others could do to help support you, or any ideas that you have for the future?
Um, I have so many.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have Jenna. My mind just
Is okay.
it just wonders. Actually, I didn't even know about any of these groups. I
Hmm.
had heard from him I heard from him the week before, but I had been so stressed that I'm like, I got to do something because I'm
Yeah.
losing. So I
Yeah.
just looked on Facebook and was like, oh, duh, I could have been in the groups. And then I guess me knowing that other females, women, men, children are going through the same thing I'm going through really kind of helped me a little bit. I don't really know what anyone can do
Hmm.
at this moment to support me. I really want our loved ones to know we're here. You know,
Yeah.
I wish honestly we could all one
Hmm.
day, and I know there's different groups advocating for inmates and
Hmm.
you, like
Hmm.
groups who maybe stand in front of the jails and um, I don't know, they protest things and different states will have death penalty and they protest that and they protest uh, all the things that's going on in it. I get it.
Right.
It's I wish we could have like this constant meeting or
Hmm.
constant talk with people inside the jail that's actually going to listen and do something.
Yeah.
constant basis, not just,
Mhm.
oh, they seen your podcast or they seen your video and then, you know, and it needs
Mhm.
to be constant. I mean,
Yeah.
Jim got sued by God, I had his name. They just got sued by some attorney because they wasn't shipping the prisoners
Mhm.
inmates on time. They were like they're doing now,
Yeah.
halting the situation, putting it on
Mhm.
hold. In actuality, supposed to be putting them where they belong. I forgot exactly the terms of it, but
Yeah. I've heard of this too here where I'm at in California. That happens a lot. And
yeah,
there's several lawsuits going on currently. Um, it's
yeah,
just, it's wild. I think that's a great idea though. Like, we should start just touching base with each other, staying in touch. And that is a really great idea you had about there should be a person or a organization within the prison that's not on prison payroll. You know what I
right,
mean? That
yeah,
we should be able to reach out to and we can communicate through them.
yeah.
I think,
Like we should be able to say, um, I mean, I know everything is not fixable. I
sure.
know commissary is not being given to the prisons because
Mhm.
it's lack of work or people don't come to work or they can't get the supplies or
Mhm.
things are not being made in these factories and sent to jails. Okay, so we know that's uncontrollable.
Right.
Um, but some things are controllable.
Mhm.
Like we don't have water in our house. We either hadn't paid the water bill or something is wrong with the sewage line and they fix it. I
Right.
don't understand how a jail has so much money and there's so many people that needs H2O and
Yeah.
fix it. Like I don't understand how we can't, there has to be, and again, I'm just little old me. Thank God for you.
Thank
Have to be like somebody who's a liaison
you. Mhm.
or
Yes.
in between to say, hey, like go to work or well, go
Mhm.
to that building and see what happened yesterday. Like
Right.
what plans do you guys have to fix this, to fix the water or to fix the hole in the wall that is bringing the rats in? Like it has to be somebody
Yes.
in the middle that you can say something to so they can say something to somebody else. I don't
Right. Yeah, it shouldn't go weeks and days on end with no running water or no
know
drinkable water or
exactly.
waking up to rats crawling all over the top of your blankets.
Exactly. It should be something put in place
Mhm.
constantly. This shouldn't be, this is talked about, it's talked about a lot. It's just not, I guess, focused on enough. Well,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
like it doesn't ever catch the traction it really needs, you know?
exactly. So
Yeah.
somebody needs to, I mean, I always say it's a chain.
Mhm.
Uh, like if you're at work and you need to talk to someone, you go to the small
Yeah.
person
Mhm.
middle, and if you can't get um, that person to listen to you or try to figure something out, then you go above their head. It should be somebody who is advocating for them and on a constant basis. And I know they're out there. I
Yeah.
just don't know what their titles are, what their names are, um, and where they're at.
Right. And for anybody that watches this, if you guys know of something like this, please put it in the comment section so Monet and I can share that with each other and with other
Yeah,
people that are concerned. Most definitely.
yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to answer if you don't want, do you know how long of a sentence your husband is
Yeah.
facing?
He gets out. He's been in there. The total sentence will be 4 years. He gets out November 14th, 2023. So he doesn't have a long time, but he has a long time of healing.
Yes.
That's the problem. So we're going to heal and I'm going to
Yes.
give him whatever help he needs. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care where we have to go to get it. I don't care how far we have to climb. I'm going to get him some help so that he will never step foot back in those doors again, ever in life.
I love that. I love that. And I love your determination.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, he's so smart,
Hmm.
so intelligent. He's good. He's good with his hands. He has so many attributes about himself that's not where he belongs.
Yeah.
That's y'all make mistakes, but to forgive, you have to be forgiven. You have to forgive. So
Yes.
just hoping whoever he hurt or
Mhm.
whoever made mad or whatever,
Mhm.
they just forgive him because he has to move on.
Yeah,
He doesn't have a choice.
exactly. We can't stay stuck in the past or we will never heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, you can't live in the past. I've seen people within my own family unit that live that way, and they are not nice to be around even.
Yeah.
It's not good for your mental health or anything else.
Yeah. And you just need somebody. Sometimes people just don't have the right
Mhm.
people in their circle
Right.
to tell them or to show them what they need to do. We call it the yes friends. You have the yes, you can do this, yes, you can do that, and you have the no friends who tell you, I don't think
That's a
you
good
should.
idea. Yeah.
I don't think you should go over there. I don't think you should do this. I'm
Mhm.
not that yes wife.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm the no wife. I
Mhm.
don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I told him when he get out, his whole life has to change from his head to his toe.
Mhm.
From A to Z. It has to. Everything you've done in the past is changing. The day you walk out of everything, the people you talk to, the people you hung around with, your conversations, your everything is changing.
Right.
Don't change, you're gonna go right back.
Mhm.
So I need him focused on life. He has kids out here. He's a great father, um, and he just needs time. Don't wait for no man.
You're right.
Time does not wait, and we don't have time to waste.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a great message too, is holding each other accountable. Like, it gives a person a reason to stay on track, and we all need it. I still need to be held accountable to things. God knows I do.
I
Yeah.
mean, kids remind me all the time what to do. So
Mine
hold
too.
me accountable for
Right.
a
I
lot of
agree. Yeah. Well, I thank you so much for coming on and talking about some things. If there's anything else you'd like to share before we wrap it up, please feel free to do so. And just let the people know if there's anything else you'd like to say.
no, that's it. I just
Pretty
thank you
good.
for
Okay.
what you do because
Thank you.
I didn't even know this was a thing, but now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to, I'm sure there's some people that do it too, but I think it's important to make it a thing. Like, we are family. We
Yeah.
we represent our family members, and we're out here, fighting for them. And I just feel like it's great for us to connect and share
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. So anytime you well, I guess anything or any person you talk to that you can, because I know you're in California, I'm in Illinois, but some way, somehow, we should be able to get this message out constantly.
Yes, absolutely. There's I'll send you some information when we're done as well, but I do a live uh, filming like once a week, and I have
Okay.
different ladies on the panel. I think that you should consider hopping on one of those and sharing information. I
Okay.
think you'd find it very helpful, and you feel a lot of love and support as well.
Okay.
So I'll let you know on the next one. But thank you, Monet, for being here. I appreciate you sharing your story, and you're in my thoughts and prayers, and everything is going to be up from here. I can tell. You've
Yeah.
got this.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to send you out with much love and blessings to our convicted hearts. Thank you for watching. Until next time, all my love.
Thank you.
Okay.